everybody. I'm going to make sure everything's going. I'm running solo here, so let me just make sure I can see this show up. One moment, please. Because, of course, I always type something wrong. Let's see. Are we live? I think we are live. So, hello. I'm just here painting today. Let's see. I haven't seen it come up on both places. So, if you're here, tell me you're here so that I can attempt to see the comments. I don't even know how to find some of this stuff when I'm doing this on my own. So bear with me. There we go. Okay. So I can see the YouTube. We're on YouTube and we're on Facebook. So let me know if you can see me. I've got YouTube going, I think. Y'all, this is really not this hard, but you know, some days it just feels like it is. Anyway, I'm going to get this going. I'm going to paint today. It is my birthday, and I want to hang out in my happy place. And so what I don't do enough of is take time and do some fun therapeutic things. I don't do it enough at all. I'm the first to tell you that. So I decided that I needed to come into the studio today just to do that. And that's what I'm doing. So I'm going to paint, for me, a cupcake. So why not? For my birthday, paint a cupcake. So that's the little cupcake I'm going to paint. This is a painting that we found in one of the ones that we get from many of the artists that we license from that is great for birthday parties, especially for younger kids because they can each paint it any way they want. It has a level of detail in it, but it doesn't have to be. But I'm just going to quit rambling and I'm just going to paint today. So if you come on, tell me you're here and let me know that you're here. Maybe I'll be able to see it. Maybe I won't. I'm trying to figure this out. I've not watched YouTube. Jason watched the YouTube action last time. So, and of course the phone's going to ring today. I'm not even supposed to be here right now. Typically when the phone rings, it is spam. So every now and then we'll get a real legit call, but most of the time it's spam. And I'm going to turn this off. You'll still hear it ringing on one of the others. But I'm just going to start off with some white and some blue and work on this background here. So if you're here, tell me hey. Let me know you're going to watch, but I'm just going to hang out and paint for myself today. But I'd love to have some visiting and chatting with y'all if you're here. So I'm just going to paint this little happy little cupcake. And this is for me. This is just having a little bit of fun. I already went into the line of the cupcake because remember, I'm not the fabulous artist that Brittany is. I'm just a casual artist, just like many of you are. And I'm just here to have a fun time and relax. I'm going to have to worry about my sleeves, just like I tell y'all. I probably should have an apron on because I am a messy painter. But we're good. I know that this is probably a shirt I will wear around the studio a lot. And so it's okay if I get a little paint on it. And today I'm just painting on 11 by 14 canvas. Just good. That's what I chose. Just hanging out. So if you're here and you're out and about, say hello. And yes, we do birthday parties in here. We get asked that question a lot. Sometimes we'll do birthday parties in here. We do work events. Whatever kind of event you'd like to hold, you can bring your food and your drinks in. We do not provide them, but we'll let you have it. And I'm going to be the side police that I'm always telling everybody else about. Don't forget to paint the sides. And I just decided to paint with Calypso blue and white. Thought it would be a pretty combination. It's very similar to what she did in the picture. So if you're out and about today, tell me hello. It is my birthday, so I'm going to paint myself my own cupcake. I don't get to have good cupcakes anymore since I can't have gluten. There are some that are getting better, but they're just not the same. Which is probably good since I don't need to eat all that sugar anyway. But sometimes you just want one. But that's okay. So I'm going to paint my own cupcake. And if I feel like I'm going to get too messy, I'll grab an apron. It is a nice day outside today. It was very chilly last week, and it's my understanding some chill is coming back next week. I'm not a fan. How about you? I know some of y'all love that cold weather, but tell me your thoughts. And if you're watching it on replay, just give me a little replay comment, and then I'll know you've been here. Getting some great Valentine's paintings going on in the studio this week. We're not here late Thursday. Stumbling over my words. Thursday we're going to be actually closing, I think, 4-ish. Because both Jason and Brittany have paintings. Thank you! Thanks for coming on, Amber, and saying hello. Appreciate the birthday wishes. Just hanging out painting. So I'm starting just on the bottom here. This is nothing fancy about this. Again, I'm just painting for me. I'm just painting because I don't take enough time for myself. And so I decided I didn't need to stay in at the house today. I could get out and come out here to my happy place and paint. Jason's not home from work. He's out of town today, so he'll be in a little bit later. So I was just hanging. Hope y'all can see everything okay. Maybe I should angle it a little bit. Just let me know. I'm just going to do a little bit different method on the top. That was kind of my table surface, so I did it across here. I'm going to do a little more crisscrossing. And really, I could have painted through that and made it easier on myself, because I'll just paint over it. I'm going to do that on this part. Just going to make it easier. And this is the fun part about painting. You can change your mind. It would make it nicer and cleaner lines if I could just keep going straight across. So that's what I'm doing. Thank you, Danica. Amber, really appreciate that. Just hanging out and painting. Two years ago, on my birthday, it was my 50th 2 years ago, Jason took me to the Biltmore on my birthday. And it was really cold and snowed. And I don't mean like the casual snow like we get here. It snowed. And it was beautiful. And quite a memory. I'll have to post a picture of that later. So the key is that I can keep seeing, and if my paint's not spreading as well as I'd like, add a little water. And I'm going to kind of cross these two over. I can come back and fix on that a little bit. And again, like I tell y'all, I'm the casual painter, so there's nothing technical about what I do. It's about having fun, which is what I want for y'all when you come here. And I'm kind of losing some of my lines there, no big deal. And if I get paint on the sleeve, no big deal. I have lots of paint clothes. You know, run an art studio. So I have lots of paint clothes. How is the week going for everybody so far? We'll be back in here tomorrow. We have 2 designs on the schedule tomorrow. I think we have a 2 o'clock and a 6 o'clock class tomorrow. So once I get a little extra water on my brush, my paint just glides beautifully. We're going to even do a little finger paint on this one in a minute. I know I'm kind of quiet when I paint. That's just how it is, right? We're just having fun. And the heater is going to kick on and off, and the studio's cold when we've been out a few days. So the heater will kick on and off a few times. And of course, there's a little space heater by me. So, like I preach, I always paint the sides. Jason is not a fan of painting the sides. He just waits till he frames it. I don't frame most of my stuff, so they go on the wall just hanging with the canvas. So I like to have a finished side so it looks nice. Hey there! Yes, you're gonna have to wait to call me. There's my honey. Just paint me a cupcake. Having fun with some blues. Looks kind of cloud, like a happy, bright, beautiful sky, blue sky day. I'm going to add a little more white into it in a minute to make it a little more with happy clouds. Just painting me a little cupcake. And the fun part of this painting is there's so many color combinations you can do with it. So of course, as I flip my canvas over, I can see areas that didn't cover too well. So I'm just going back and adding in more crisscross texture. And then on the bottom part, I'm kind of going side to side. And again, I ended up originally wasn't going to paint in the cupcake, and then I just decided, well, why not? Because I'm actually going to paint the cupcake white next. Or have a little bit of white with my yellow, because I'm going to do a white base. I mean, a yellow for the bottom part of the wrapping, the paper cup that the cupcake would be in. And if you do like I'm doing right now and I can't see all my lines as well, I just add me a little bit more water in there. And thin through so that I can see it. and you blend it, you color it to your heart's content. So I'm just going to keep painting away here. There's also on my little tabletop, and then this is my little crisscross on the top. It's just really, I'm adding in a little more white, but I'm going to darken that a little bit more with some more blue. And again, I've decided to use Calypso blue today. I think it's a happy blue. And it's a cupcake, a birthday cupcake, so I want it to be happy. Hopefully it will look okay. I'm sure it will. It's a cupcake. I mean, can't mess up a cupcake too bad. So I'm gonna add a little bit more blue on this side, I think, like I did on that side. I hope the camera angle is working well. I'm solo today setting it all up, so I'm definitely goofing up some stuff. It's quite the disaster getting it started. Okay, disaster's not fair, but it was quite the comedy. And I just have a few spots in here. I'm just going to touch up a little bit more. All right, then I'm going to finger paint a little bit. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to brush in the water. Wipe my nose a bit. Okay, and then I'm going to use some of this white. And I'm going to get my finger, and I do have baby wipes to help me here, but I'm going to get my finger. And I'm just going to do some little circles. And actually, that one's a little brighter than I want it to be, so some of them I might get a little paint off first. But I don't want them to be perfect. I want them to be a little fuzzy and like they're out of focus, little blobs. You put as many or as few as I like, just to add a little more to my background. Because it's a fun cupcake. It's a birthday cupcake. How many of you have finger painted recently? Brittany teaches people how to finger paint clouds in here. Finger painting is not just for the kiddos. And some of mine aren't coming out perfect in shape. Obviously my finger's not flat. Or the way I'm pushing it down is not. That's okay. Kind of like the fact that they're different. And I'm trying to make them different sizes. Some have more paint, some have less. That one has a lot of paint. I'll probably come back and work on that one a little bit more. So that's just some of the little background I'm adding in. You can add more if you like. I want it to be some of them not in focus and just kind of there. And I obviously had something else on my finger because it was showing another color. All right, what y'all think of that? Some little dots with finger painting. Similar to dots, we do a lot of time our dots are with the back of paint brushes. But today I'm putting them on. I want them to be blurry. So that's part of why the finger painting works well. They're not totally in focus. Okay. All right, let me get baby wipe. Thank you, Rhonda. I know I don't do it enough. It is good to do it. All right, so we're gonna get this cupcake I'm gonna paint next, but I want it to be good and dry before I put yellow on it because I don't want it to turn green. Of course, I can now sit here and say, oh, want another dot there, want another dot there. So I added a few more. And I could even do, like, let me show you in the picture that I'm using as a guide. You can see how they did there. Some of theirs are bigger, some are smaller. Same general idea. Can you see that? All right, so I need that to dry. As Brittany says, we're always waiting on paint to dry. It is one of the most challenging part for those of us that don't have a whole lot of patience sometimes. And I have just a ton of brushes over here, so I'm just playing around with what I'm choosing to paint with. We'll see how this goes. I'm gonna be doing my cupcake. I'm using cadmium yellow. And I'm gonna have white with it too. And I'll probably blend them together a little bit as I'm doing it. I'm getting some new white because my other white's got a little blue in it. And really what I'm doing right now is just kind of outlining the cupcake. To help me fill it in. So how are y'all doing today? What's your week look like? So this is really stark gold right now. It's okay. I'm going to be adding some white into it. And change it around as you need to. I always have to turn my canvas. You can paint on easels if that's what you like. I do better on a flat surface because I like to turn my canvas around so much. And right now I have it kind of dry. I'm somewhat doing that on purpose. I like what it's doing. And trust me, if you're watching, you may have better ways of doing this, and that is perfectly fine. That's what's so nice about painting. There's many different ways to, as we normally say, skin a cat. Not that I'm promoting skinning a cat. So I'm trying to pull down from this yellow that I put right at the top. That's so bold. It will make it longer to dry. Make it take longer. And I'm not worried about which direction I'm going right now because I'm gonna be painting over it again. Like I said, I know it's really dry. I know you probably can see it. It looks like I'm struggling to paint it. I don't do everything the easy way. It's just kind of my nature. I don't know why. probably a better brush I could choose. But I'm committed. Thank you, Miss Allison. Thanks for showing it to me. She says she loves my CEO shirt. Quite happy with it. Some new designs that picked up recently. And I thought it was quite appropriate. All right, so here, like I said, I'm putting this on really dry. I'm gonna now add a little bit more water to my brush and spread this paint a little bit better. Add a little bit water to my paint. This yellow is a little bit thicker. Thought I had a new shirt, might as well wear it today. And then I'm gonna grab some white and blend some white into it. Again, I'm covering all these little lines, but they're okay. And I'm putting it on kind of heavy, which means it's going to take more coats to dry. So if you ever start putting on a lot of paint and you feel like all you do is pushing it around, you are. It needs to dry a little bit. Especially because I put so much. If you've seen our class schedule this week, we're doing a see, I already screwed that up. A curly method wreath class. And most of the time our wreaths have been ruffle method because that's the one that's my favorite. It's the easiest to, it's the most consistent, I guess is the way to put it. There's nothing difficult about the curly method wreath. But we're going to teach it this week. I had a lot of requests to do it again. It's been a while since we've done a curly method wreath. So Friday night, we're doing a curly method wreath. And so we're going to get out all of our Mardi Gras and Valentine's and spring ribbons. It's time to get even St. Patrick's Day ribbons. It's time to bring them out. We packed up Christmas. So that means you can make a wreath of any of those things, whatever works for you. I am painting a cupcake. Because it's my birthday, so why not, right? I'll let this dry just a little, and then I'm going to go back in and add a little bit more to get a little more coverage on it. It's cute, isn't it? I thought it's fun. It's a design that we're offering for some people as an option for birthday parties. Especially if it's a younger group and they don't really know what they want to paint. It's a good option. And they can each change up the colors to their own liking. So if you're new to our channel and just watching us, we have our events in the studio. We do book private events. And we've done birthday parties. It's very happy. That's what I like about it. It's just a happy little cupcake. There's so many good colors that could go onto the back of it to make it your own personal painting and show your personality through it. So I have now covered all my lines, but that's okay. I'm not stressing over it. I joining us this week? What are you going to do with us this week? I know Allison's coming to make a curly method wreath. I'm digging that. I'm going to let it dry. Then we're going to get some texture into it. I could add a little bit brown with it. I'm going to change my brush if I do this. Let that sit a minute. We're going to work up here on the top. Now to start on the top, we're going to start with just white. Allison has a great pile, so she'll work on something. Yep. So we're going to do, to help give a good layer into this cupcake, we're going to do a layer of white to help really cover. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go along that edge, about right next to my cupcake. What you call that thing? Wrapper. Why am I having so much trouble? Because I do all the time. Paper cup. Cupcake cup. So what's your favorite flavor cake to put into a cupcake? Because the icing does not have to reflect what's inside. So what would you make yours with? And again, if you're watching on a replay, give us some of your answers. I am putting this on pretty heavy. I'm actually doing it on purpose to help give me some texture to this cupcake, because I'm going to come back with another color on top of it. I'm going to use these shapes of it to help me. And it probably is nothing like Brittany would paint this. I'm just, again, we all can do this even if we use different methods of doing it. I'm going to get a little tight up in here, and I'm going to need a thinner brush to do that. So yes, I have my white paint on pretty heavy. I'm creating some texture, in my opinion. And this is a time where I'm going to kind of go over strawberry. Yes, strawberry's good. Go over the edges a little bit. These trace lines, they're there to help me, but I'm going to hide them once I get this part on here. I always am a big fan of Devil's Food. I need to find a good gluten-free compromise for Devil's Food. And you know, the color I didn't get was straight red, because I got a cherry I got to paint on here. We'll have to get that before we're done. Strawberry with a cherry on top. So I can see what kind of cake I need to bring y'all. In Louisiana, they had a fantastic strawberry cake. Not like the box cake. It was probably more of a almond cake, but it had chunks of strawberries in it. Oh, the thing was fabulous. When I could still have gluten. I had it many a times for my birthday. It was divine. From Ambrosia's. So anybody from Louisiana, y'all hit me up. You know what I'm talking about. That Ambrosia strawberry cake was amazing. So what I'm going to do is go back and kind of spread out. So I got the basics of my cupcake here. Go in here and spread out some of this. I'm using a lot of that paint that's already there. I am kind of going with a flow and direction to help with the swirl of my icing. Good German chocolate cupcake is fantastic too. Blueberry, that's your favorite, huh, Rhonda? I'm going to be bringing back some others. I know Brittany really likes blueberry as well. Allison's given me her request. She likes strawberry. I'm going to hunt down an apple. And then also the traditional, which is the cinnamon. I'll probably have a few with some cream cheese in it. I'm thinking, what else? We had Bavarian cream last year. If I can get a hold of a Zulu cake, I'll bring a Zulu cake. So what y'all think? Look, we got a cupcake coming to life. Of course, like I said, I put a lot of paint on it, so it will take a little while to dry. So this year I'm going to try to get, thank you, Janet. I'm going to try to get some different king cake brands. So when I go to Louisiana in February, I go the first week of February, I'm actually going to be in the Acadiana area. And so I'll have opportunity, and I just picked up a little yellow there, opportunity to pick up some different brands of king cake, different grocery stores, bakers, than what I've been getting in the past. And then when I pass back through the Slidell area, I don't know. I got several places. I'll try to bring back some variations so you can see different ways different people make them. I think I might put some more, another coat of yellow down here. I was debating cleaning my brush, but I'm going to leave the white on it. Just think I want another coat. So if anybody else has a request of a flavor of king cake they would like to try, Zulu is coconut and chocolate. There's so many different flavors now. The traditionals, I mean, original is the cinnamon. But you can get cream cheese, you can get strawberry cream cheese, blueberry cream cheese, praline, not praline, praline. You can get praline. Brittany will give me a hard time about that later. It says praline. So I can come back. I'll try to get several. Again, we had, shoot, how many did we have last year? We probably had 8 different flavors I brought in last year. It's a fun time. So you'll know that I'm coming back with them, and you can plan accordingly to attend events or just stop in and come get you some king cake. I got a little too much white in there, but I'm okay with that. I can always darken it up. It helps to cover up the blue of the base underneath. So we're going to try to hunt down, I'm going to hunt down an apple. I know I've seen them in the past. Last year, I think I brought, I don't know where I brought them from. Oh, they were from Rouse's last year. The year before, they might have been Rouse's, but they were Rouse's in Covington. Oak Point makes some really good ones in Central. It's where Jason and I used to live in Louisiana, our first house. Don't know if that'll be on my path or not, but we're going to hit them up. So you'll have to keep letting me know any flavors you'd like to see to try. So I got it too light down there, so I'm adding some more yellow in. Some of the blue still coming through helps to just create some shadows on it. I kind of like it. I'm jumping around all over the place and just painting away. So similar to what I was doing with that yellow, I'm going to blend and I'm going to use Wild Berry. It's not as magenta-y as this. Let's see if I like it. As the picture had more of a magenta, this may be more subdued. I don't know. I'm going to play around and see what I think. It's paint, so we can change it. You'll have to tell me what y'all think when I start painting with it. Clean off my brush. Definitely got a skunk trail happening on top of his hair. You don't notice it till you get on the video. It's okay. It's my hair. Alright, so I'm going to make this color. I don't want it fully blended. I want it to show signs of all of it. What do y'all think of that color? And I'm going to keep coming back in with, I think, some bigger, yeah, like that. Some bigger, heavier hits of it, less pinky. As my pinky sits sticking out. So what do y'all think of that Wild Berry? And it's okay that my white is still wet underneath since I'm going on with a pink and white blend. I'm just working with a lot of paint. And I want it to have that swirly look to it. Can y'all see that? What you think so far? It's definitely a wet mess, but you like that? It probably could use a little more fuchsia, but I'm going to leave it a little subdued. I'm okay. This has been a good color. We've used it on a lot of paintings, and it's really come out nice. So where I want to add a little more swirly in, I come back with a little straight of the berry, and I'm just trying to create some dimension with the paint. Again, some of y'all that are watching, y'all paint more than I do. Y'all would even be better at this than I am. Like I said, I'm just taking some time and painting because I don't do it enough. It is very therapeutic. You don't have to be an expert to be therapeutic, for it to be therapeutic. think, I mean, it's thick. We'll see how it does as it dries, but I think the motion of it, of the way I'm painting and the thickness of the paint is helping to make it look like wet ice, like structured icing. What do y'all think? It's not the same as the painting, but I'm not the same as the painting. Yours won't be the same as the painting, and yours won't be the same as mine. This is a simple little painting. The degree to the blending you do is just going to be up to you. So this is a great painting for a younger group too. Jason and I painted Friday on the live. If you didn't see it, we were it was a winter advisory day here in Alabama. So we did close the studio just in precaution of keeping everybody safe. And we painted paint kits at home that day. That was a great time. Doing some painting together. Jason's usually painting what's in his head. So for him to actually paint a traced canvas was totally out of his usual element. And he did great and enjoyed himself, I think. So it's still wet, but I'm adding in a little highlights of some heavier white in some of the spots. And you could wait and do that as it dries, or you can do it while it's wet and have them more a part of what's there. Depends on how bold you want it to be. And I will add some more later, I think, but I'm adding some now. Alright, I think I have icing on my cupcake. Now I think I'm going to add a little brown. Brush that up. So I'm going to add some details to my cupcake. My cupcake liner. That's the word I haven't been able to get today. So I'm going to do a little detail in this liner. Because goodness knows I got a lot of paint there that's got to dry. And don't need much paint at all. I'm going to try to I'm using a flat brush. I'm about to drop it. And I'm trying to get a good clean edge with it. This one's got bristles all over the place. And that happens at times. So this one's not going to work well. Let me try it. Studio brushes get a lot of wear and tear and abuse. And sometimes we have to cut bristles off of them, even in the studio. So this is just a really light hand I'm going to try to do here. And just kind of put me a straight edge in some spots to build this cupcake liner. And there's many ways you could do it with a straight detail brush. I don't want it too formal, so I'm okay if they're a little bit thicker at times. Remember, these are creases in our cupcake liner, and I can come through with a little white, and I don't even draw straight lines very well. I was laughing, everybody complains they can't draw straight lines. I couldn't even trace straight lines when I was drawing this. So you're good, you're in good company. We all have problems with drawing lines, and it's okay if they get too thick. We have ways to fix them. I can come back in here with a little yellow and a little white, and I can soften that. I'm very unsure of my hand when I'm doing this too. And it's not straight. And I'm going from a wider top, like the cupcake liner is, to a narrower bottom, so we angle just a little bit. And I'm probably not going to have them equally spaced. All that to say, it's okay and it doesn't matter. Just paint it and enjoy it. And I'm telling you things I'm saying to convince myself that I have to do that. So I see I have too many. It's okay. We're rolling with it. So I'm going to go back with a little of the white on the side of it. And actually, because some spots it's wet, it blends a little. That's okay. I'm trying to soften it. And I still think they're actually a little too thin. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually taking paint off my brush. Oh, I got into my pink. That's not what I meant to do, but it's okay. I'll fix it. Let's get some yellow and white in here. I've made a mess of this now, but I'll get it. The whole point, let's go back to what I was on. Okay, I just got blue now. We're going to have a little issue there. We'll come back and work on. Here, I'm just trying to soften these lines that are part of the liner. I don't want them to be so harsh. And I may just have to let this dry a little bit and come back and work on this, because it's still got a little pink in it. It's just happy accidents. We can fix it. All right. What am I going to do next? I need some red. Grab some red. Because I got a cherry I got to put on there. Now, it's really wet right there, right? So I may not. I'll be very careful with this. Just need a teeny bit of red. Have to really be careful over here right now because there's so much wet paint over here to not put my hand in it. I'm covering my black line. So sometimes I leave that black line exposed a little bit if it's something I'm going to be highlighting later to help me out. Okay, I got a cherry on top. Red often needs multiple coats, so we will see. I'm going to have to let it dry and see how it looks if we need to go over it again. For my stem, and I can use the same little brush I was just using, I'm going to do the same brown that I did in my cupcake cup, and I'm going to put a little bit brown on the bottom of this. You can do many different levels of shading that table if you want to. It's all about what you're comfortable with. And the UPS guy is here, so I'm going to have to go answer the door in a second. So, what do you think so far? Okay, so I'm sorry, I'm going to step away so I can answer the UPS. I'm coming back. Don't leave me. Hello, sir. How are you today? Good. That was heavy, huh?
Got a little weight to it.
You just put it right there. It's perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the gift.
You're welcome.
Have a good one.
You too. Stay warm. Alrighty, I'm back. Sorry. Okay, what do y'all think? Sorry, I had to step away. We had a delivery. I'm going to add a little bit of brown down here to the bottom. And Brittany always tells us when you're trying to do something thin, add some water into your paint, and you're trying to make it like an ink. And when it's like an ink, it goes on pretty easy. Now this is a little browner than I want it to be. I'm going to come back here and it's going to soften this up. And actually some of the water on my brush is helping because I had a little too much water on it. but make it juicy. Thanks, Rhonda. And that was that one I messed up a little bit. And it's still a little messy in that area. It's okay. I'm going to soften this just a little. I don't have a really big divide here of the transition into my table, but I'm okay. I could work on that if I wanted to. I could put some shadowing here. But you take this painting as far as you like. I know I need to get a little more red up in here in this cherry. And then we can add some sprinkles if we want to, or we can just leave it as an icing cupcake. Again, that's what's nice about these, is it's how you want your painting to look. I'm not a fan of sprinkles in my cupcake icing. I prefer it to be the smooth icing. Which do you like? Like I said, this was just a simple little painting. I could add the sprinkles, but I'm not going to on mine. I like it the way it is. But I think I'm done. I think I just wanted to come on just to do a little simple painting today, just to paint something, and because it's my birthday, why not? And a cupcake was the perfect occasion. What do y'all think? Well, thanks for hanging out with me today. Check out all of our stuff. You know where to find us, and subscribe to us if you're watching us on YouTube, or if you're seeing us on Facebook. Make sure you're following us. Share it. Tell everybody about us. We love to have new people and our regulars in here all the time. It's a lot of fun. Everybody that comes in here and the bonds that we build with them. So thank you for that. And thanks for the happy birthday wishes. Y'all have a wonderful day. Stay warm when it's cold and stay cool when it's warm, because it's kind of doing it up and down this week. And stay dry when it's raining. But either way, have a great day. Y'all take care. Bye, y'all.